Farewell, you sons of Erin's Isle, I now must leave you for a while. The rent and taxes are so high, I can no longer stay. So I sailed away from Dublin Quay and landed here but yesterday. My coat, my brogues, my shirt and hose is all I brought away. I just called in to let you know the sights I've seen before I go, of the ups and downs of Ireland since the year of 48. And if our nation had its own, her noble sons would stay at home. But since fortune has proved otherwise, poor Pat must emigrate. And the devil a word I'd say it all, although our wages were but small, if they'd leave us in our cabin where our fathers drew their breath. But when they call upon rent day and we have no halfpence for to pay, they just turn us out of house and home to beg or starve to death. But what sort of treatment, boys, is that to give to honest Irish Pat, to turn his family on the road to beg or starve to death? So I stood up with heart in hand and sold my little plot of land. That's the reason, boys, I tell you why poor Pat must emigrate. Some horrid sights I've often seen, but none were worse than Skibbereen, where the famished stood there starving for a mouthful just to eat. They starved and died in Skibbereen, no shroud or coffin e'er was seen, in that awful year of 48 when the famine was so great. I saw mothers, fathers, boys and girls with rosy cheeks and silken curls, so patiently, so reconciled to what would be their fate. The helpless, they were thrown in graves unknown to all but God who saves. 'Tis no wonder the poor people were so glad to emigrate. So farewell, my lads, I must away, for here I can no longer stay. The Shamrock sails at the break of day, bound for America. They say there's work for one and all, which we don't have in Donegal. And you know, my boys, by the great Saint Ruth, I've told to you the truth. So farewell, my boys, with heart in hand, all you that takes old Ireland's part. 'Tis here I can no longer stay, for fear of being too late. But if ever again I reach this land, you will find me a much better man, and I hope it'll be with a Fenian band. Now poor Pat must emigrate.